All right. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. What's going on? It's time for your HMG weekly wrap up, and you guys know the deal. We're gonna take a minute to get a few of you heathens on here. Got a special week because I got a special guest lined up for you guys today. Ryan Patrick Hunt over on the IG, sir. Greetings. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Always appreciate it. Ryan's got some cool stuff coming up. If you don't know who Ryan Hunt is, go follow him and his vet social. He's got some cool stuff coming up. We're going to share this out, so just bear with me for a hot second. And if you guys could do me a favor and like, share, leave a comment, let me know you guys are out there in the old interwebs. Appreciate it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started today. Like I said, we have a special guest. My special guest today, Mr. Tom Long, friend of mine, returns. He was on here last summer. Tom's an Army veteran. He's also the CEO and founder of Apex Business Alliance. Let me see. I think I have. There we go. That right there. If you guys remember last year, I had him on. We were talking about the Army's 250th celebration that we did out in Philadelphia. This man was the guy that put a lot of that together. He's also one that's sponsoring next week's event. One of the sponsors for next week at Military Creator Con down in Arlington, Texas, and we'll get more into that. And then today we're going to be talking about the National Social Media Awards that's happening June 7th. In LA, and I think I have that too. Boom, right there. And you guys have heard me talking about the National Social Media Awards since around November timeframe. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my buddy, Mr. Thomas Long. Tom, how are you, brother? Good to be here.
I'm doing as good as the good Lord will allow me to be, sir. Thank you for blessing me with the ability to be able to be here today with you, sir.
Absolutely, man. It's always good to have you on. Always good to have you on. Let's dive in for those that are new and might not have seen the last time you were on the show last year. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm a Army veteran, as you stated. I'm 100% PNT. I'm a 3-time suicide survivor. I'm a former raging alcoholic. I spent 7.5 years bedridden. And in 2022, the VA told me they gave me a lifespan of 8 years if I didn't do something. So I took my life back in my own hands.
Yeah.
I lost more than 155 plus pounds in that year span.
Wow.
I got out of the wheelchair, I got out of the bed, and started moving forward. So, and then since then I've dove back into our veteran community with both feet, trying to do everything that I possibly can to help our fellow veterans know that there's somebody out there that's been through the trenches, been through what's going on, and is moving in the right direction. And it's not because of a lottery win or something crazy. It's because, the grace of God and the love of a good woman, is how I've gotten to where I am, and the dream and knowing that we can eradicate veteran suicide, we can eradicate veteran homelessness, and we can work together as a community to bring a platform together for all of us to be heard, to be seen, and to be recognized for what it is that we do on a daily basis in our communities.
I got to ask, you said you lost 150 plus pounds.
Yes, sir.
How did you do that?
So the VA wanted to do gastric bypass, and it scared the absolute litter poop out of me because, I like to drink a lot of water because I used to be an alcoholic. As much as I drink water is how I used to drink alcohol. So I drink a lot of water, maybe 2-3 gallons a day.
Yeah.
And the gastric bypass, they said I'd have to drink water out of like a Dixie cup for like 6 to 9 months, sipping it throughout the day because of the new pressures in your body. And I was like, I can't do that. It wasn't even the anesthesia or the surgery that scared me, because I was getting 4 ketamine infusions a month and 10 trigger point injections a week down my spine, as well as 3 epidurals a month. So I was going through anesthesia like 3-4 times a month. So it wasn't that part that scared me. So I took my life in my hand and started where I focused and started was probiotics, because your gut health is your second brain. Because once you get your gut health right, you can start to get this right up here. So I focused on gut health and then really training myself to try to be like we used to be when we were nomads. We didn't have a refrigerator sitting in front of us when we were in the caves to be able to, just eat food all day. We had to go find it. So I started doing the fasting. The intermittent fasting changed my life, and going in that direction. So just portions and intermittent fasting.
I love it. Ken, good morning, brother. Appreciate you jumping on as always. I see we got some other people out there. If you're on, leave a comment. Let me know where you're at. And if you got a question for Tom, put it in the comment section. We'll ask. Tom, how did you and I met last year in Philly for the Army's 250th, and I want to talk a little bit about how you've been all over the place in the last year as far as like the veteran community goes, right? We went to Podfest together back in January, and I've seen you since then. Obviously, I mean we're pretty good friends. And we try to keep in touch on as much as possible. But
at least twice a month.
Yeah, so you're doing a lot of events. You're going to be your company is one of the sponsors for next week's Military Creator Con. You're also doing stuff with National Social Media Awards, which we'll get into in a minute. But tell us a little bit more about how you started Apex Business Alliance. What is it exactly?
Yeah, roger that. So I've been in the networking field and networking area and network marketing even for 25 years. So, and the one thing that I learned, and I mean no offensiveness or trying to put anything down when I say Chambers of Commerce, BNI, LaTip, all of those kinds of places where you go, typically we've been trained and integrated to go to do networking.
Yeah.
It's broken, and it's been broken for decades because it's all transactional. Nobody goes there and builds legacy, builds relationships, actually cares about the people that they meet. They go there throwing as much poo against the wall as they possibly can to grab as many cards and see who will buy their stuff. Well, that's not how relationships were meant to be built, Adam. You know that because we took time to build our relationship. Yeah. We met over a phone call because Darwin met you, and he's like, dude, you got to meet Adam. So we met over a phone call. Then we started talking more often. Then we built our relationship before we got together and started working together. Yeah. That's the way things are really supposed to be meant to do it. So coming from that world, I said, I've been waiting for someone to do it. Well, God told me, stop sitting on your tuchus, your third point of contact, get off your butt and go create it. Don't stop waiting for somebody else to do it. So I did it. Apex Business Alliance is a global networking platform entity that is built on honor, integrity, and service, because I'm tired of people being so fake just so they can get a card in your hand or get your card and hope that you're going to buy their product.
Right.
I understand that's how things turn, but you turn better and have a long-term goal. Then that's how you build a true business and keep it perpetually turning, that perpetual economic engine.
And he said it's on a global scale. So how many is it, like something that you meet up with on a weekly basis or once a month, or how does that work?
Right now, what we have is we have the waiting list to be able to get in, to be able to start. We're getting ready to finally blast out. This all happened in October. Most businesses take anywhere from inception or idea to actually working 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 years to get up and running. Wow. I did it in months. So the platform's created, everything is done, everything is ready. We're getting ready to really launch at MCC to let people know that the experience is there. You can get on and create what we call an exchange. Once you create that exchange, then you can add people to it. You can do it virtually. We recommend doing it in person. We'll help you find a location if you need to. Something along those lines to be able to work together, come together, feel the true vibrations and energy between people. Yeah. Because I know everybody got so comfortable from COVID doing everything over the internet, doing Zooms. That Zoom became like another Google. It became another word that everybody uses on a daily basis.
Convenient.
Say again?
I think Zoom and the internet became convenient during that time, in a sense of, a lot of, I'll say back in our day, if you wanted a meeting with a company or whatnot, it wasn't necessarily over the phone. A lot of times you flew to wherever that place was,
Right.
to do meetings or what have you. The internet certainly has its place, and it's certainly convenient at some cases, but you don't want to lose is that human connection or that human interaction with people, and that's something that we've talked about, a lot of before. Where can people go to get more information, or if they're interested in it? They can, you got a website or something that they can sign up on?
They can go to www.apexba.world.
Okay.
That's www.apexba.world. So we shortened it because if you don't control the narrative to a point, as somebody's going to do it for you. So I didn't want it to be ABA or just Apex. So it's apexba.world.
Love it. Now you and I are going to hang out next week. We're heading down to Military Creator Con.
Hey, you're in the picture even.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. I call that.
See, he doesn't always just wear polos.
This
guy cleans up real nice. You got to come down and see him so you get to see him all dressed up nice with his jacket on and everything. I'm telling you, most people see you from that yellow stripe up.
Yeah, there's a reason. And let's be honest, there's a reason for that too.
But they don't understand how massive of an individual you are, the presence that you bring, but the comfort that you also bring to someone when you talk to them face to face. It's definitely interesting because the first time that we met, I was like, whoa, this is going to be not the same. And it was so open and warm and inviting. So highly approachable. Recommend you talking to Adam whenever you get a chance to.
Thank you for that. Anthony, I appreciate you jumping on, brother. How are you? I get that a lot. I think, I'm speaking next week, as you know, down at Military Creator Con with my friend Shay Sparks, who we started a company called Maker's Machine. It's an inner circle type of group that we've created, and we're talking about building community, and that's obviously something I've had a lot of experience in the last 14 15 years doing media and podcasting and whatnot. But when I first met Shay in 2020, I was speaking at Military Creator Con, and this was when it was still part of Podfest.
Okay.
And her first she walked up to me, she's first words out of her mouth, she's like, anybody ever tell you got resting bitch face?
Yes.
Like that was
pictures to prove it.
That was, yeah, there's a lot of that. A lot of people like, you seem so pissed off or standoffish. I was like, I don't know. That's the way God made me. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? But these guys here, Sean Douglas and James Van Puren, two of my closest friends. These guys are really kind of masterminds. And James's wife, who's not on here, Mara. I'm excited about this. This is the first year that the Military Creator Con's been an event of itself. So yes. April 16th through the 18th next week at the Hilton Arlington Hotel. We still got some tickets available. Go to militarycreatorcon.com. Use promo code HMG50. You get half off and check it out. AJ Richards, he said never. AJ, another close friend of mine, doing some amazing things. In food, like our food sovereignty. If you want to learn about like what's going on with our food sovereignty, AJ is one of the leading experts in, I would say, the world right now. He'll disagree with that, I'm sure, but it's true. So would love to see you guys down there. Military Creator Con next week. Tom, you're one of the sponsors. Yes. Apex Business Alliance is one of the sponsors.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Yes. And the reason I got behind it in that fashion, that I'm one of the sponsors and Apex dove in with both feet, is one, it's created by a veteran, operated by a veteran, run for veterans, and it's not pay to play. It is recognizing those individuals that are creating content across the United States for everyone, not just for veterans.
Yeah.
We're not staying in our own lane like some people might want us to. We're out there making social impact across the communities. And this is one location that we are highlighting those veteran content creators.
Yeah.
So, being a veteran myself with a veteran run business, I'm jumping all in. You know, the thing that's not on the screen is I'm also the CEO of the Disability Channel US. It is a service disabled veteran owned small business. It's another media company creating to help those disabled veterans, and the disability community itself be able to get in front of or behind the screen or the camera. So it's just keep your eyes out for that. That's going to be exploding this year, and really doing great things to help those that are in front of and behind. And we'll have a 20-week cohort course that will be coming and starting here in Pennsylvania first, Adam, and then growing across the nation.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I want to move forward. You know, like I said, we're going to be, again, you'll see Tom and I both down at Military Creator Con next week in Arlington, Texas. But then we got another event coming up shortly after that. And I've been talking about this one for a while. You guys have heard me mention the National Social Media Awards happening June 7th in LA, right?
Yes, at the Avalon Theater.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that, because now I've seen on social media, they're starting to show some of the nominees. And if I'm not mistaken, that this is the first year, Tom, that they are each category has a that you can nominate, or that you could nominate a veteran for.
Yes, this is the first. So I got approached by the founder, Stephen Byron. Mm-hmm. And he said, Tom, I want to work with you. I want you to come on board with the NSMA, the National Social Media Awards, and, you know, bring that veteran presence. I said, the only way I'm going to help you do any of this and bring a veteran presence is if this is public. The public gets to nominate. And he's like, well, that's the beauty about this, Tom. I said, what is? He said, this is the only non-pay to play social media awards program on the globe.
Yeah.
So it's completely public nominated, completely public voted, and they offered to add a veteran nomination to every single one of the categories. I said, I'm all in.
How many categories were there?
So 22 categories this year. A couple of them dropped off because, you know, we just didn't have the people or personnel for those categories. Yeah. So 22 total categories across the board. So that means you're going to have 66 veterans that get recognized, okay, as nominees. They're all going to be invited to the award ceremony, and that's where they'll find out who wins those 22 awards this year. For the very first time. And the beautiful thing about it is doing this and going down this path, Adam, I was able to work a deal to where next year we literally will have our own event called Veteran National Social Media Awards.
Really?
Yes.
Own event. So separate than this, or is it? Yes. Would it be sponsored by this, in ties with this group? But
it'll be tied with it. It'll be in correlation with it, but it won't be, you know, all three categories of those people standing together. We'll have our own separate event where it's veterans, celebrity, all that stuff coming there for just veterans to be recognized that day.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And where can people find this? I know it's on Instagram. It's NSMA, I think it's _USA.
Yes, it's NSMA.USA on the Instagram. Yep, that's where you can go check that out. It's got the links inside the profile, that little picture up there. Go into the link tree there. You can check out the nominations, check out the categories, all of those things.
I love it. Let's see here. What do we got? Gabriel, what's up, Gabe?
Darwin Larson.
On it, yeah.
Hey, go to figure. You know, we speak about them and God brings them to us.
Right. And then, of course, my buddy David Gordon. Appreciate you jumping on. And then over on the IG, we got Brent up in Canada. Thank you, man. Canada.
Absolutely.
The North. Tuning in this morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I love it. So June 7th. And where is it again? It's June 7th in
in LA at the Avalon Theater, Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood. So we're going to have a nice 30-foot red carpet out front. Then we're going to have HMG and a couple other people out there doing interviews on the red carpet with those individuals that are coming. We're going to have presenters. We have, I think it's 5 different acts that are going to perform throughout the night. It's wonderful. It's just going to be an amazing evening with a lot of great people, great energy, and the veterans get to be seen for the social impact that they are creating across this nation on a daily basis.
Black tie event, right?
Yes, sir. Black tie event. Look your best. I'm
just ordered my new tux. So
there you go. I'm not even excited about me being there. I'm so excited to see my son in a tuxedo because he's coming with me and my wife in a tuxedo. I told him I'm going to get a little top hat with a cane, all that stuff.
So how old's your boy?
He's 8 years old.
That's why
it's exciting for me.
That's why it's exciting.
It's 8 years old.
He's in his 20s, like whatever.
Just exactly.
Clean up.
Yeah. Go take a shower, dude.
Yeah, right. So, and I'm excited because HMG is going to be there. We've got a couple of the shows that are going to be there. And we're going to have a table there. We're going to be live on the red carpet on June 7th. It's going to be fantastic. So
HMG is one of our sponsors for National Social Media Awards. They sponsored the Business of the Year category. It doesn't mean they picked anybody. Folks, I just want you to understand that just because somebody's a sponsor doesn't mean they have any criteria or say in any of the categories.
No, they didn't. And we're happy to do it and appreciate the opportunity to do it. And we're certainly looking forward to that event as well. I tell you, it's for a guy that said I'm not going to be traveling as much this year. I'm traveling just as much, if not more. And you know what? I love it. I don't know if I'd have it any other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the other thing that with travel, just because you mentioned travel, the National Social Media Awards is a global entity.
Because their big one was like in UK, and then they had one somewhere Morocco. Is that what it is? Yeah.
So this year alone, we start in LA in June.
Yeah.
Then we'll be in Dubai. Then we'll be in the UK. Then we'll be in Morocco, Vienna, Poland. HMG was helping us talk to people in Australia to be able to expand down there next year. So and the beautiful thing about it is working with the veteran side of it. We're going to be recognizing veterans in every single one of those countries, working with their national veterans there, not U.S. veterans in each one of those countries, but their own veterans. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing that we get to bring our entire global community together.
That's pretty cool. That is really, really cool. All right, Todd. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you being on here. We got to dive into some news topics, and I'd love to have you stay on and get your input on some of these. As I'm sitting here and my teleprompter wants to go black again, so we're just
while you're doing that, I just want to make a couple quick shout outs real quick. If you're looking to transition or you're looking for a job, please check out V2I. Vets to Industry out there. It's a nonprofit that helps and takes care of veterans all over the nation. Don't forget, this year is America 250. Last year was all the services. We had Army 250, Navy 250, and Marine 250. This year is America 250. The biggest party for that is here in Philadelphia, the birthplace of our nation. So also go online, check out what Carl's House is doing for our fellow veterans all over the nation. They're based in San Diego, but an amazing organization. PDH, which is Project Die Hard, always looking for followers and helpers to jump into their services. And Mighty Hero Homes down in Georgia. Check them out. See what they're doing to help eradicate veteran homelessness. Thanks for that.
Yeah. I got one more event that I'm going to talk about, and then we're going to get into news topics.
Okay.
Also going to be down at Hero Fest May 2nd. If you're in the Florida area, Tampa, St. Pete area, this is taking place just north of that, Palm Harbor, Florida, May 2nd. We're going to be down there for Hero Fest, so come on down. Go to HeroFestFL.com. Get your tickets. They got over 150 vendors that are going to be down there. 2 stages. I'm telling you, we got got a lot going on next
Yeah.
couple of weeks, and
I think Darwin should be forced to come over and see you since he's right down there in Fort Myers.
I think he should.
Absolutely.
It's just a little bit of a drive, Darwin, if you're still on watching right now.
That's right. That's right.
Let's dive into some of these topics. Excuse me. I've seen NASA updates. Those of you that have followed the whole NASA trip, there's Darwin.
Yeah. Bam. He'll be there.
Yeah, I expect it. They're on there making, as of 7 hours ago, well, I guess a couple days ago, but the last update I got was 7 hours ago. They completed the second return correction burn, and they're more than halfway home now. And you can actually watch the NASA stuff live by going to nasa.gov, and they got the live stream of the astronauts up there. It's pretty cool. So I know we've got several people that watch the show, and then I've been kind of following a little bit here and there on it. So it's been pretty interesting watching the NASA stuff. Next up, this one here is I would say shocking, but former Fort Bragg soldier arrested for leaking classified military secrets to a reporter. For the love of God, why? Courtney Williams, she's 40 years old, a former Special Operations Command employee at Fort Bragg, was taken into custody on charges of transmitting classified national defense information to a journalist.
Was it for the money?
I'll get to that. We'll see here. HMG. Good morning. Good morning. Wow, that's. Patel's credited FBI Charlotte and the Bureau's Counterintelligence and Espionage Division for the caller. Quote, this is from FBI Director Patel. Let this serve as a message to any would-be leakers. We're working on these cases and we're making arrests, he said. The FBI will not tolerate those who seek to betray our country and put Americans in harm's way. Williams, she held a top-level security clearance from 2010 to 2016, and prosecutors are saying that from 2022 to 2025, she ran up more than 10 hours of phone calls, 180 plus text messages with an investigative journalist, allegedly handing over tactics, techniques, and procedures tied to a special operations unit. Now, another article had said that the complaint does not identify the journalist in the article or the book. There was a book I'll get into here in a second, but says that the article was published on August 12th of 2025. So last year, the same day Seth Harp's political story about Williams was released. The article was an excerpt from Harp's book, The Fort Bragg Cartel, Drug Trafficking and Murder in the Special Forces.
Whoa.
That's the name of the book.
Whoa.
Which was also published the same day the article came out.
Coincidence?
In the article, William describes her experiences at Fort Bragg, where she says she was frequently sexually harassed and discriminated against. And the whole article, I haven't read all of it, or saw parts of it this morning when I looked it up, but it was centered around her time with Delta Force. That's what the article says. Now, those of us in the military often know, or that have been in the military know, that it's a group that's not often talked about. But what makes the case hard to defend is apparently she knew exactly what she was doing. And according to court documents, including text messages where she text about the amount of classified information being disclosed, she also wrote that she might actually get arrested for disclosing classified information, end quote. Well, no shit. And then a third,
common sense.
Why are you going to put that in a text message?
Right.
And then a third message has her acknowledging she was probably going to go to jail for life. Duh.
Well, let's keep going.
Like it's blows my mind that people would allegedly do stuff like this. She hasn't. I mean, it's and this was as of 3 days ago.
Right.
What really caught me was that there was an article in Political that came out, and then at that same day, Sean Harp's book was released, and I've seen the book. I've not. I had started reading it. Um, Fort Bragg cartel, drug trafficking, and murder in special forces. It's not the first time I've heard about this. I've actually talked to a couple other people that have done investigations like that. You've seen stuff.
Okay.
It sheds and I'm not trying to shed a bad light on
Right.
that, but shit happens everywhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just like your comments down here, Rich said um, that there's definitely something deeper with her.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. It's yeah, definitely deeper on that, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna what's gonna happen now? I don't know. This is something I think we got to keep an eye on. It's going to be interesting to say the least, but the fact that the special operations community was brought up, and um, I don't know, but there's definitely something with this. Moving on, have you seen this video going around on social media? Man lights a 1.2 million square foot warehouse on fire for not paying him enough. Um, and it has him quoting in the video. I saw the video. It says, "All you had to do was pay us enough to live." And I think it's sad on different levels, right? Many workers, I think nowadays, their pay is kind of frozen in an unforgiving labor market that hasn't seen really any meaningful increases. This is what the article said. Um, Meanwhile, the cost of living, not to mention the price of gas, everything continues to rise. So making it difficult for low income households just to squeeze by, right?
Right.
Um,
Where was the warehouse at, Adam?
this was in California.
Okay.
This was in California, and I want to say it was. Oh, I forget the name of it, but it was like a big
Coal is expensive out there.
toilet paper company.
Okay.
One strategy, and this was the article said, one strategy we wouldn't recommend is to set a 1.2 million square foot warehouse filled to the brim with toilet paper and other highly flammable paper products on fire to make a point that you're not getting paid enough, which is exactly what this disgruntled employee did. This was in Ontario, California.
Okay.
And the LA Times had reported this. The fire resulted in requiring more than 175 firefighters and 15 fire trucks just to put it out.
Wow.
And if you end up watching it, I'm not going to say that the guy's name. He's a 29-year-old Highland resident out there, and he, like I said, he quoted while he's lighting it, and it's on social media. He filmed himself doing it, and he said, "All you got to do is pay us enough to live." And he filmed himself doing it. Again, I don't know if that earns a dumbass award or what. But the fact that all those resources, 175 firefighters and 15 trucks just to put it out, I mean, that's insane. What else do we have? That's really it. I do have one that I want to leave you guys, and then we're going to get into some of the shows, what you missed on the shows. It wouldn't be a week if I didn't say something that had to do with some type of conspiracy theory. So I don't want to disappoint you guys. So I'm just going to say this. What countries out there don't, or that are not backed by the central banks? I'd be curious. In fact, I guess I could have put a poll up too.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about doing that. Anyway, I'm going to throw that out there. Leave it down. If not, great. Well, Ken Styles. for toilet paper the next 2 weeks.
So yeah, well, speaking with the
Hold
cost
on.
of
Yeah,
living-
I'm going to say this about that. Yeah. So now we're out of toilet paper, and we're going to have to resort to the Alabama wet wipe.
nice.
If you're not sure what the Alabama wet wipe is, that's your homework assignment for the next week.
There you go. But speaking with the cost of living and different areas like that, there's a group called for Honor in Memphis, Tennessee, that is focusing there. And their plan over the next 10 years, 12 years, is to build 10,000 homes, affordable homes for veterans in the counties in Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow.
So they're working real hard, due diligence there, and it's going to be amazing the way that they bring up that ecosystem, that infrastructure, and that base for the veterans around all the other companies that are bringing themselves to Memphis, Tennessee.
Seeing a lot of people with homes, building homes for veterans across the country now. That seems to be a big thing. I mean, Kaylin, how are you? Appreciate you over there on the IG. Guys, let's dive into, and Tom, you're welcome to stay along on this. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the shows, what you missed. We have some new shows that recently joined us here on Heroes Media Group. First one up, Behind the Thin Blue Line. Love the fact that we're getting into the Heroes community here. This one here, talking about PTSD and law enforcement. We've talked a lot about PTSD in the veteran community and don't often talk about it in the law enforcement side of within our community heroes. So PTSD and law enforcement isn't just about what happens in the moment. It's about what follows you home. The calls don't stop. The stress doesn't reset. And for many, there's never a true chance to decompress. This week, Mark sits down with William Irving to unpack the realities behind trauma, operational stress, and the mental toll of serving on the front lines. This is a new show. It's called Behind the Thin Blue Line. Check it out. Next up, we got Uncommon Sense. Listen, this one here this week, they're talking about growing hair, gas prices, and more. And if you see the growing hair comment, you'll understand why. When you see the guys on video, you can follow them on their YouTube channel, Uncommon Sense. It's absolutely hysterical. Go check it out. Veteran run, another veteran run show as well. So check it out. Next up, we got the Decision Hour with yours truly. This week, Scaling Without Chaos, Systems, Relationships, and Smarter Growth. I sit down with Barry Bradham. He's a business systems architect and the founder of DigiLink. We talk about CRM systems, how he got started into all of that. You're going to gain some insight on power of mastermind level networking strategies for scaling without chaos. And the value of having a trusted advisory soundboard when tough decisions arise. Listen, you can't, if you're building a business or your side hustle, you can't do it alone. I've never met anybody, I've never met a millionaire or a billionaire that hasn't had some type of help along the way. If you're interested in this, go take a listen to the Decision Hour and then connect with them on comewinwithme.com.
Communities are important no matter where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, Misfit Nation podcast. I love this. Rich LaMonica. Rich, if you're on here, brother, appreciate you. This is a good one. They do a couple of shows each week. And this one, Rich LaMonica sits down with Lieutenant Colonel retired John Mangan, a decorated Air Force combat search and rescue pilot who spent 25 years flying missions around the world. Over the course of his career, over 200 combat deployments, deployed 8 times, Turkey, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and a slew of others. He's worked with pararescuemen, SEALs, Delta, Rangers, SAS, and the Australian Commandos. He's got a slew of prestigious awards, Distinguished Flying Cross with Valor twice, Air Medal 12 times. This was an incredible story. John's missions and actions have been documented in books like Not a Good Day to Die, None Braver, 06 Bravo, and Dead Men Risen. He continues to talk about his service and whatnot in his latest book, The Three Rings Mindset, teaches readers how to train their minds, master emotions, sharpen focus, and perform at the highest potential, whether it's in combat, business, athletics, or just everyday life. It's an awesome episode. Strongly encourage you to check it out. It's called the Misfit Nation Podcast. Next up, we got Homefront SITREP Podcast. This week, U.S. Army Colonel Dave Howell, a leader who has spent over 3 decades serving both in uniform and in the civilian sector. He's been with the 82nd Airborne, 12 Special Forces Group, and then later on supporting missions with the Army Reserve Medical Units. This week, they're covering why failing to plan is planning to fail. Not just a saying, it's actually reality. How to build a clear vision for your life after service, the step-by-step framework for goal setting, execution, and accountability, and a slew of other things that they talk about. It's called the Homefront SITREP Podcast. Check it out. Next one, we got the OGs of HMG. I'm talking about the Arms Room Show. This week, they're discussing a realistic fighting loadout that you're going to want to do. Love this show. You learn a lot from it. Check it out, Arms Room Show. What do we got next here? Strategic Veteran. What happens when when the life you work so hard to build suddenly stops making sense to you? How many of you guys have been there? In this episode, host Adam Peters sits down with Rachel Speckman to talk about the moment many high performers quietly experience, and that's the realization that the ladder that you've been climbing up for so long might not lead to where you want to go. And they talk about that and then how to adjust and change so you can get to where you want to go. Strategic Veteran, check it out. I got a few more. Stay with me, folks. The distinguished, the disgruntled. I always say distinguished gentleman. We don't have that show. The Disgruntled PM. This week, Dennis Wong shares his extensive expertise in IT and project management, offering practical advice on how to improve project delivery, communicate effectively with executives, and leverage knowledge for success. Great show, The Disgruntled PM. I
think you just wanted to be positive. You didn't want to say the disgruntled part because
it's like one of those like subconscious things.
Right.
Vet SOS. Here's a nonprofit organization that has like 4 or 5 shows that they put out every week. I mean, they do a show every day. This is a really cool. It's called Vet SOS. Check them out. This week on one of the shows, they have Douglas Katz, who joins the network to discuss entrepreneurship through innovation and share powerful insights into adaptive design, disability mindset shifts. Douglas was a West Point grad and a creator. He's got a new product out. Check it out, Vet SOS Podcast. Unapologetic Veteran Podcast. You guys haven't heard me talk about this one in a while. They got a new episode out, and they're talking about what's coming up for them this fall as they plan a trip to the Marine Corps Marathon in October, and what they're going to be journaling and talking about from now until then. So check it out, Unapologetic Veteran Podcast. Good to have them back up. Keep It Spiritually Simple with Sandra McEllis. She talks with Dr. Autumn, who performs a live psychic reading and intuitive body scan live on the show. Very interesting on this one. Keep It Spiritually Simple. Check it out. Label Free Podcast. This week, Dr. Pascuca, physician, author, passionate creative, joining us from the stunning islands of Oahu, Hawaii, shares his inspirational journey practicing pediatrician and a published author. And how he opens up about his daily journaling practice, which fuels his creativity and serves as the foundation of his storytelling. Pretty cool. Check it out. Label Free Podcast.
The journaling really works. That helped me with the weight loss as well. So I'd highly recommend anything that goes with that.
They say putting it down on paper really just amplifies everything.
Yep. Right? Crystallizes it. Yeah. So smart.
We got your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This past week, they had David Bowen, actor, songwriter, emerging director and producer, talk about his journey from military service to the entertainment industry. Pretty cool. They also feature music from Mickey LaManta, a former law enforcement and corrections officer who making major waves in the music world. Very cool. Check it out. People's Patriot Project, another show that does multiple episodes each week. So People's Patriot Project, make sure you follow them, check them out. Other Side of the Firewall. Got a new episode out this week. I was excited about this one. Matthew Hale, the founder of We're Gonna Learn Today, the world's largest interactive educational platform focused on Black history, financial literacy, civics, and coding. They discuss the platform and its bilingual offerings that they have. This was a really cool conversation. Check it out. Other Side of the Firewall. Chasing Happiness. How to pray when your life is falling apart, because God doesn't need your perfect words. He needs the real you. So true on this one. I'm proud of Ryan. He the last several months, he's really put himself out there. Chasing Happiness podcast. Check it out. Last but not least in the lineup, we've got Rise Up, Voices from the Front Line. One spark is powerful, but sparks become fire when many join together. This week, they're talking about the power of many. Check it out. Great episode. Excuse me. Rise Up, Voices from the Front Line. And of course, I got to give a shout out to our community partners. We got Green Valley Hunters Paradise. They had their annual fishing day last Saturday, a good turnout. They got some good, cool pictures there. Go to Green Valley Hunters Paradise on Facebook or Instagram. Check them out. Jim Neary's Live Bait and Tackle. They also had their first bass tournament of the season last Saturday, and they've got a big one coming up. Their big one is May 9th down at Ocotillo Reservoir in southern Pennsylvania, and they do a big, like a pig roast barbecue thing. There's going to have vendors down there. That's their big one, so make sure you come down live. Check that out. You can go to Jim Neary's Live Tackle. Yeah, it's great. You got to come down for that. .net. Forget Genetics, veteran-owned, family-run. I love these people. Great people. I got to give a shout out to Barry Jr. He's in the Pennsylvania National Guard. Just did the combatives tournament down at Fort Benning.
Really?
And did a fantastic job down there. So, Junior, congrats, brother. Great job. And then, it's tax season, and our longest community partner that we've had here on the network, My Tax Fella. Listen, it's one of those things, like, you have to. I'm not good with numbers, right? Horrible with numbers, and I hate doing taxes and stuff like that. These people have saved me so much. Anthony Moriello and his team over at mytaxfella.com. Fantastic organization. Thank you for your guys' support. And then last but certainly not least, our sister company, HMG Beverage. We've got a lot coming up this summer. You can go to hmgbeverage.com. We might have a new roast coming out this summer, so stay tuned for that. You could also go to hmgcoffee.com, place your orders there. People's Patriot Project, good morning to you. Appreciate you guys jumping on. Don't forget, guys, next week we are going to be live in Arlington, Texas at Military Creator Con. We'll probably have some special guests coming in and out of there. So stay tuned for all of that. Tom, appreciate you jumping on today, brother. Thank you for filling us in on Apex Business Alliance, being a sponsor for next week, and also looking forward to LA for the
absolutely
awards. So,
and also make sure when you come down there, you check out the Honor Box Studios table. They'll be down there. It's an amazing company. Check them out, honorboxstudios.com. They take shadow boxes on steroids. They make them out of ammo cans for legacy, generational, passed down items. That's absolutely amazing.
Right on. Folks, that's all the time that we have today. We're gonna cut her because I gotta get to work. But I'm gonna say this: this weekend, again, don't get the 45-degree syndrome. If the weather's nice in your area, shut the computer off, leave the phone in the kitchen or wherever, and get outside this weekend. Protect your minds. God bless you. God bless America. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.
God bless.